Welcome to episode number 6 of the 5 Minute Creative Podcast. I'm Patrick Smith, and it's Saturday night. It's Saturday night, July 5th, 2025. And I haven't done one of these in a while. And I don't know how much that matters right now because we probably have more episodes and views. But I'm going to try to make this more of a priority, and because I do like doing it. And I have some things coming up that might lend themselves to good subject matter. And then it's been so long since I've been in Zoom. I think I've been in Teams mostly. This background is a former office I used to go to, and that office is no longer the agency's office. So time flies, things change, but it was fun to see go down memory lane and see an old stomping ground. So anyway, what I want to talk about tonight is website content and how important it is to have it. A good handle on it, a critical mass of it before you start any website project. And I want to tell it through the tale of two websites, the tale of two cities, the tale of two websites that I just went through. And for context, Project One, which I don't think, it wasn't a total disaster, but I think it's been 8 months maybe. And I don't even, well, I know the site's not live yet because of content, and the content is still being built out on it. But for context, the client is a supplier, B2B, very niche B2B supplier, established business, been around, I don't know, 50 years or something like that. They've been around a while. And their current website was very much kind of a 2-3 page brochure website. Check the box. Yes, we have a website, but it's really not a marketing tool. Doesn't position us well. Salespeople don't use it. But it's there kind of thing. And it's very tired and old. And clients got new leadership, want to tell a new story. Guess what? You need copy for a new story. But are expanding their footprint and excited. There's new, vibes and all that good stuff. And want to get the new story out there, right? It's all about growth, right? So that was the plan initially, the initial, kind of conversation. Our job was to come in and be the design dev team. There was a kind of a patchwork of a few other consultants in the mix. Typically, we do the messaging and do the copy builds on these things. However, there was a primary kind of consultant that was volunteered to create the copy content. And so I thought, great. She's a subject matter expert, works closely with the client, has got this category industry. What could go wrong? And of course, there were other support documents that I guess you could pull content from, like brand books and some PowerPoints and digital brochures or whatever. And I should say the point of this isn't the finger point, but it's just the illustrate. But you got to a little bit, I guess. But I'm trying to illustrate how not having copy it's just the Achilles heel of website projects, or any project for that matter. And I should say the reason it's the Achilles heel of deadlines and projects getting done well is because everybody thinks copy's easy. I'll just give it to ChapGPT. I heard that a bunch of times in this on this project. To me, that's insane. I guess there's a time and place for everything, but the project itself was a brand refresh, and our deliverable was about 8 to 10 page types. I think we did 10 or 11, and the pages, the site itself wasn't going to be more than probably 15, 20 pages, and then some blogs, whatever. But that I don't even know if those are even written yet. but and I don't want to get into the timing of this because the goalposts moved on timing and deadlines and all this other kind of stuff. Because I don't really know why. We didn't have a lot of direct conversations with the main client, but things started just to evolve and change and whatnot. But the initial goal was to get something live out in the market. I think in just call it April 15th for sake of day. And we started this. We kicked it off in December. And that's certainly enough time. Like I said, I don't think I've done 1,000 websites, but I've done hundreds. And for something like this, 100 days is probably enough. Maybe 4 months, kind of thing to develop all the copy, build out the designs, have the development, do the testing, and get it approved. That's the other piece of this. When you're doing design work, you need you need the copy and the design to get the websites approved. Usually, sometimes you can get away with it. It just depends on the client and stuff. But you really need to have both pieces done before you can get something approved. But from the beginning, I started to work on the brand refresh or the brand idea and the design page types at the same time. I started writing copy because I didn't have any, but because I need some roadmaps along the journey of the website itself, so that I kind of have an idea of what's going where. Even though I didn't have content, I've done this enough where I can start to kind of pull some parts and pieces in and then start to make some sense of things, give it some organization, some hierarchy. There were some other people on a team that were creating documents that sort of lent themselves to some content here and there and filling in some blanks. But again, we never really had the full copy document. There was never something that was sent to me that said, hey, here's the, you know, here's the first 3 pages of the website, the home page, the about page, the products page, whatever it is. Why don't you look at these, think about how they might work in the design. If you have any thoughts, let's talk about it, and we can, collaborate on this. That never happened. So there wasn't a lot of back and forth. So what I heard more than once was, I need designs to write copy, and that's fine. So I did it, and then we got to a spot where I couldn't take the designs any further, and the copy wasn't all done at all. Well, the copy wasn't done, and the decision was made just develop the page types, regardless, no content. We'll figure out the content later. So we developed the page types, and I guess to their credit, they started filling in content on the backside of this, and it's starting to build out. But again, it's going on 8 months, and there's still no live site for something that should have been 120 days max, kind of thing. So I say all that, they're not the only client that's done that I've seen this happen to. I mentioned before the Achilles heel. Copy can be the Achilles heel for all kinds of projects, web clients big and small. It just happens. And like I said, everybody thinks it's super easy, so I'll just figure it out later. And then all of a sudden it becomes this avalanche of work that you have to fight through. So by contrast, and this is what I'm the point of this whole thing, I've seen this happen so many times. I'm hoping if you're a young designer or web developer or whatever it is, this is the one thing you want to take away from this, is when a client comes to you and asks you to build a website, what I'm doing now, and I'm putting this in my contracts, is before we have a kickoff meeting and we really start this project, we need to have a discovery session, and I need you to bring me 3/4 of the copy content, basically, kind of formed in some way, shape, or form. I need to have an idea of what it is we're working with, because if I don't, then I could barely even scope the project. Sometimes, I need to have an understanding of what we're working with. And so, guess what? This particular client, I made that demand. They showed up. We had a meeting. They had more than 3/4 of the copy content in parts and pieces in different forms, but it was sort of organized, and I could see that there was stuff there. And what it forced the client to do was to remind him that he had, I need to rewrite this. Oh, this is a little bit old. I need to go back and address this. But at least I had enough there, and I could start to form an idea of what it is we were going to make. And on the image side, the other part of it too is the client thought he had a lot of assets, and he had some, but they were all super small, and the graphics were way too small. So we had the opportunity to kind of do a little education and say, hey, the graphics you have are fine for the old website or a different purpose, but for what we're doing here, we need to kind of create some new ones. So it helped us to kind of talk about photography and how that was going to play and who's going to do it and how it was going to get done, all that kind of stuff. So project 1 was 8 months and still not live. This project was probably half the pages. It's 6-8 page kind of website. And I'm on week 3, and it's 98% done. The last thing I'm waiting for, quite honestly, is the client's going on vacation because it's the 4th of July. And when he gets back, we're going to look at it one more time. It's going to go live. So that 3/4, 80% of the content coming in at the start of the project got us done in 3 weeks. And if we didn't have that, I don't know where we'd be right now. So that's the lesson. Get the content before you even start. So that's going to be it for this episode. Thanks again for listening, and we'll be back soon.